Peter.
Hello folks, I'm here with Peter Rudd. I saw his post on Facebook on how he recycles and resources electronic waste, and he's going to talk to us about how he does things, how we can help him, and give us a tour of some of the things he does. So Peter, tell me, what is it you do here?
Well, I try and recycle as much as possible in the way of electronic. It doesn't need to be computers or phones, but they're predominantly what I specialise in. If you look in this box in there, you'll see a box full of cords.
Yep.
This is just appliance cords. All the plugs have to be taken off, otherwise they won't take it.
Yeah.
Then this stuff here is data ribbon and data cord, like phone cords, things like that.
Yeah.
Like here. They can have the plugs on, that's fine, but I take them off because there's gold in there.
Okay.
Some of them don't, some do. So that's just the basic there, the wiring.
Yeah.
And then in this corner over here, in the tubs there,
Got some drives.
we've got domestic aluminium. The more I separate, the more that I get paid.
Okay.
Right? The less I do, the more they got to do, the less I get paid.
Yeah.
So we've got domestic aluminium, cast aluminium. Now this is all the hard drives. When people think about passing their computers to me, they're concerned about their personal information going missing. Well, this is the remainder of what's left of the hard drive by the time I'm finished with it.
Okay.
So there's no risk whatsoever. In the black tub in the corner there is extruded. That's the best of the best.
Okay.
In the red tub is copper. Car batteries, I've got one testing at the moment on charge, but it's dead, so that I'll scrap that down. Another one here. Power supplies. I don't always want to scrap things. I try and reuse where I can.
Yeah.
Now these can be turned into battery chargers like that.
Oh, great.
Circuit boards go in here. Transformers from plugs. That's what these sort of look like inside.
Okay.
Okay, these are where your plugs for your laptops and so on.
Yeah.
These plugs here. So when the company wants them taken off,
Yeah.
I can then put them in another box on their own and sell them like that.
Okay.
Also, like this, your computer plugs, they've got gold inside them. So I pull them apart. Where are we up to? Brass. I take all the pins like this. I pull the pins out of the plugs where I can and keep them as brass. Bright wire, bright copper wire. I don't know if you can see that in there. Yeah. So everything has to be in its own little pile. If I took it in one lump sum, it would take
It'd be too much. Yeah.
So this is just the basic part of it.
Okay.
Then it comes down to the metals that I can't just grab and put in a box.
Yeah.
Things that are stuck on circuit boards. So a classic example would be this here. In this here, that's where your Ethernet goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's little gold pins in there. Gold pins in there. Gold pins in there. This IC chip, every single one of those legs has a gold wire going from it to the center to an IC chip, and then back to the other side, and it's just full of gold wires. And when we're talking minute, the skinniest of skinny wires. Then you got your gold fingers. Now these here, the ceramic, the only way you can either do this is to incinerate, which I don't want to do because that's not good for the environment, or you can break it all down with sulfuric acid.
Okay.
Sulfuric acid costs too much money, so what I do is the car batteries, the acid inside car batteries is sulfuric. So while recycling the car batteries, getting the lead out and so on, I can also use the battery acid to dissolve this, get all the gold exposed, and then at the end of the day, once all the different chemicals have been used, I neutralise them to a pH of about 7.
Okay.
It's safe, it's just liquid then, there's no acid left. So it's a win-win for the environment. So all these boards here that you can see up here, they're all going to get heated. I get a heat gun here, and I just melt all the stuff off the boards.
Okay.
Put it over there so it all falls into here. Eventually ends up on here where I get to sort it out, which is what I was doing when you cheered up.
Yeah.
This is all the small stuff left over that I was picking through. Okay, these here you'll find on the circuit boards, it's just copper wire.
Yeah.
So I pull the wire off that. These little transformers, they've got copper wire wound around inside them. I'm not sure what these are called, but they've got silver, I believe, inside them. And these have got silver. They're hard to see because they're small, but that's got silver inside them.
Oops.
These are the slots that you see on the boards.
Yeah.
There's gold pins in there. Not all of them have gold, some of them do. This one's a very, very, very thin coating. It's barely visible, but it's there, you know. And it will all be dissolved. Everything, the tin, the whole lot will be dissolved in the chemicals.
Yep.
So once I've diluted something, I then filter it. All my filters I put into different containers.
Okay.
Copper, gold, silver. And then eventually when there's enough of them, I'll put those filters back through a mix and take whatever might still be on there.
Yeah.
There'll still be traces of it on there, you know. Look how shiny that is. You know, there'll be silver all through that. Those, once I've put those through the mix again, then they're no good. That's only paper.
Okay.
So that'll break down in the ground, it's no worries.
Okay.
Again, all the nutrients, all the acids that I use will be neutralised.
Yeah.
And any copper that I get out of it, I will melt into I've got a crucible here. I broke the last one, but I melt it into the bars I've got copper and so on, and then sell it to the same place that takes all this.
Okay.
Or if I get bars of silver, bars of gold, I can sell them at the hock shop, or go to Perth Mint, or put it on for sale on it. And sure, there's a little bit of money in there. It keeps me going, but a lot of it goes back into the chemicals. The chemicals are expensive, you know. So the first stage in the process of getting the gold off, these two containers, this is safe for me to handle because it's only hydrochloric.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no bad fumes or anything. Both of these containers are full of things like circuit boards. So see the gold pins? Well, they're not gold now because of the tarnish from the solution, but there's still gold on them, trust me. So all these circuit boards, they're all soaking in pure hydrochloric. Like there's nothing, when I say pure, there's nothing else in it, it's just hydrochloric acid. Okay. Same with this one here, and if you probably see little bubbles forming on it all because it's reacting. See all the bubbles coming up?
Yeah.
It's reacting with all the tin and solder and all the other things that are in there.
Ooh, something just burnt my nose hairs.
And then once that's completely done, like I'll soak that for about 3 or 4 days, just to make sure that everything is dissolved, that it can dissolve.
Yeah.
Then I thoroughly clean it and make sure there's not a skerrick of hydrochloric left on it. Then I'll put it in a bath of nitric acid, which then will dissolve other things that the hydrochloric couldn't, such as silver, copper. See, the idea is to get rid of all these base metals, otherwise it's too hard to process the gold. This container here is just a stock pot, which is my waste.
Okay.
Once I've treated things and I need to recover all the different metals out of it so that I can neutralise it, I use a stock pot like this. These ones here, I've got aluminium in there, little bits of aluminium, and you can see all the foam and all the stuff here. It's all the reaction from the aluminium, and what the aluminium does is it makes everything else drop out. Any more metals of any kind that's in there will all fall out into one lump, which I can then process. All the liquid will just be clear, it's just water, there's nothing left. I put urea in there, which neutralises acids.
Where would you get that from?
You can buy it from Bunnings in the garden section.
Oh, really?
There's no more acid in it. You keep putting urea in there until there's no more reaction, you know. Now the sulfuric acid that I was telling you about, I've got a bucket under here, and it's got this big transformer thing in there. You can see how there's all copper in there, and this outside could be gold or brass, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But on the outside, let's see if I can pick this up without using my hands. It's got like a coating. I don't know if it's a plastic or what it is. And I want to get the solution to eat that off so that I can get to the copper. So that's soaking in there.
I'll take
all the acid out. Now the acid's only 30% sulfuric and the rest water.
Yeah.
So I've got to put it onto the heat and evaporate it down by about 2/3. Yeah, this is the first stage. Like I said, the second stage will be the nitric, and then the third and final stage will be acrorhizia.
So Peter, you just got a delivery.
Yes.
Would you tell us more about how people can get things to you, or do you go and pick things up?
I do pick some things up if it's local.
Yeah.
I'm only a pensioner, and like I don't have a whole lot of cash to be driving down the other side of the river and all. A lot of people are nice enough to bring stuff to me.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I go and get, or even if I meet someone halfway, you know. But certainly this lady was just saying she's going to organise a drop-off section where people can take their things and I go and pick it up. Because I'm a member of this group on Facebook for Zero Waste. The people on there are amazing, and they've been really helpful. And I've been helping them by getting rid of a lot of things that they don't need anymore. There are the critics out there that say, the shires do it and all these other things. Well, maybe they do,
Yeah.
but what's the harm in more people doing it?
Yeah. And my personal feedback on that is I've seen quite a few people who have followed the big companies who say they do it,
Yeah.
and they don't always end up where they promise things are ending up. So this way you're actually seeing where things are going
Exactly.
and how it's being done.
Well, I think people who say leave it to someone else, that's nothing gets achieved. What's the harm in everyone doing in that? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if it means someone donating to me, that's them doing their little bit, making sure it goes to the right place where then I can transfer it all into little pieces.
Exactly.
And it's it's a team effort.
Yeah.
And we all need to work together. And I don't want to have the attitude, there's other people out there that'll do it.
Yeah.
No. I've been scrapping for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've only really just started getting into the gold and all that, but for 20 years I've been keeping copper and brass and aluminium and stainless steel and lead, and you don't get rich off it, but you feel good at the end of the day. And it's a hobby, it gives me something to do.
So there you have it, folks. If you are interested, Peter is in Western Australia, north of the river in Perth, and through this video I'll share some contacts where you can get in touch with him. And thank you for having me over for
No
this.
problem. Next time I go to my scrap metal merchant, maybe you could come along
Yeah,
and film everything being dropped off at the merchant.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, awesome.